They face Kansas State tonight and the winner of Loyola Chicago and Nevada on Saturday, but Coach Cal isn't buying it. Say what?
My challenge is making sure these kids don't drink that poison. That poison being we have an easy road. There are no easy roads in this tournament. If they drink that poison, we'll be done Thursday. If they don't drink the poison, it'll be a dogfight on Thursday. Let's see what happens.
Obviously, I always say don't drink poison. That's always my rule.
Cece, you full-on believe that they're in for a dogfight tonight against K-State.
The team is so young. There's nothing else you can tell the team. Absolutely. They haven't played consistently on offense. They haven't been able to hit the three consistently on offense. So, yes, Coach Cal, he knows his team. I mean, they had two great offensive nights last week, but will that team show up? So, man, in January, we were questioning, is Kentucky going to make it to the tournament? So, Coach Cal, he knows his team good. Like, don't drop your guard.
They're peaking at the right time, but the body of work over the course of the season says K-State absolutely can beat them. And if they get to the Elite Eight, Nevada or Loyola Chicago could beat them. Like, they have been inconsistent throughout the year. Coach Cal's got it.
But also, a little psychological warfare.
Oh, yeah.
I play this game all the time
with your kids?
With my kids. I didn't want to say my kids. Yes, I said, don't drink the poison. They say, no, Kentucky can win.
In football, they say, don't eat the cheese.
There you go.
Oh, I never heard that.
Neither did I.
Good. Yeah, that's old as you.
Okay, so it's
there you go.
All right, time for some stories to start your morning. There are plenty of question marks surrounding the health of Teddy Bridgewater's surgically repaired knee. The former Vikings quarterback signed with the Jets this offseason, but don't ask Teddy about his knee. When asked if he was close to 100%, he said that he wasn't comfortable talking about it right now. So you see, that sounds a little cryptic. What are fair expectations for Teddy Bridgewater?
I think one of the questions also in that, Jenna, was he going to be participating in the off-season workout? And his answer to that was he wasn't comfortable talking about it right now. The other thing, look at the contract. It's been stated he's guaranteed $500,000. Josh McCown, who was a starter last year, who also had the potential to leave to go other places as a backup in other places, they gave him $10 million. So it lets you know, in Teddy's fickle, all right, something didn't check out. That's the reason why he didn't get more money guaranteed. If they thought he was going to be the starter, those contracts would be flipped. So I heard Teddy. I listened to him. Yes, he's not back to 100%, but that is his goal. He's hoping with the training staff he can get back to 100%.
I'm gonna talk about money again, but in a way I don't think will bother you. Even with the physical not being 100%, I think Teddy Bridgewater is going to I think he's going to play better than that contract says. I think Teddy Bridgewater is going to, in 2018, be the best quarterback on the New York Jets. I think they're going to find out they got a bargain on him for this upcoming season. The fact that he played in a game last year and we didn't see, unless he suffered an additional injury we don't know about, tells me even if the knee's not 100%, that he's healthy enough to play pro football.
Yes.
Athleticism's never been a big part of his game. I'm betting on Teddy this year.
To the NBA now, DeAndre Ayton officially declared for the draft on his Twitter feed yesterday because everything sounds better in 140 characters. Ayton averaged 20 points per game, nearly 12 rebounds in his freshman year at Arizona. Nick, is NBA ready? How NBA ready is DeAndre Ayton would be another way to ask that question.
I think he's the most NBA ready of any of the one and dones by a wide margin. Now, there's a player coming from overseas named Luka Doncic who might go #1 if Ayton doesn't, who is more NBA ready than any of these guys. He's been playing pro ball in Europe at a high level for a number of years, but because of his overall physicality, because of, as you can just jumps off the page, his not just his athleticism, but the way his body is built, he will be able to take the pounding of an NBA season better than any of these 19-year-olds that are going to be coming into the draft.
Yeah, he's definitely the best player. He should be the first pick in the draft. I see his game transferring. He's like the other kids. He got to work on something. He doesn't have the body problem that the other kids, Mobambo that we talked about yesterday, and your boy from Oklahoma, Trey, yeah, they definitely. Now, he has an NBA body. Very, very athletic. He's going to have to extend his game out. Can he shoot 10 more feet than where he's shooting right now? But his skill level, blocking, playing defense, running the court, and his inside post game is good enough for him to be in the NBA. Excited to see him.
Hey, guys, remember when Kawhi Leonard was playing for the Spurs?
He should come out.
And then he got hurt, and then he was eventually going to come back. And do you also remember when he was actually supposed to come back a week ago? Yeah, that's not the case anymore. Manu Ginobili isn't getting fooled again, saying, quote, he's not coming back. Nick, how perplexing is this whole Kawhi Leonard saga?
I've been confused by it all year. I'm done guessing on it, but I do think it's interesting that the same week that Manu says, listen, he's not coming back, we're done with him, Pop changed his tune a little bit. Pop was asked about there being a deadline for when he could come back, and Pop said, "What? Why would there be a deadline? Why would I do that?" And the reporter had to be thinking, "You just said there was going to be a deadline."
Just did it.
Manu, I think, is doing what a player has to do, which is assume he's not going to be back, while Pop is doing what I think a coach has to do, which is leave the door open for the best player on his team to come back when he feels comfortable.
Yes, he's saying all the right things, but the beginning part of that interview, he also said something that was a little perplexing. He said, you media people, you fooled us last week. You guys had us believing that he was coming through that door. He didn't come through that door. You fooled us. You're with the team. How can we create a situation that you wouldn't be more familiar with? So I still think Kawhi is going to come back and play. Manu, nice try, though. Nice try.
Nice try.
That's so Manu.
It's our fault.
Hey, big news out of Milwaukee. Giannis Antetokounmpo, as opposed to the other Giannis, left the game against the Clippers with a sprained right ankle. Bucks will have an update today, but Giannis wasn't on crutches, nor was he in a walking boots. So, Nick, how cautious should the Bucks be with their star?
I would be incredibly cautious in this regard for the rest of the regular season. Because Detroit has fallen off a cliff, basically post-Blake Griffin trade, you're not going to fall out of the playoffs. You're the 8th seed right now. I don't know how eager you are to move up in the standings. You move up, you might end up playing Cleveland in the first round, which you don't want to do anyway. I'm sure they'd rather ideally play Boston than Toronto, but I would be cautious with Giannis. Give him all the time he needs. You're going to the playoffs either way. The only way you have a shot in the playoffs is if Giannis is at full strength.
Yeah, I mean, we need to get more information on this. It just happened last night. We don't know the severity of it. He doesn't have ankle problems like we see with Steph in Golden State. I would take it to the weekend. See how he's doing this weekend. He's doing better than I put him out there for the last 2 weeks of the season, week and a half of the season. If not, I let him take his time. He's young.